So I want to talk a little bit more about the idea of radiating darts, multiple darts, adding this idea that once you've mastered the pivot technique or even the slash and spread technique, we can move this dart around and we can create these style lines anywhere. So in this particular example, I've got multiple darts on the side seam. If I wanted to add multiple French darts on the side seam, I'm going to need to pivot my dart excess out of my waist and into this, either into the French dart position. So I would want to shift the dart excess out of the waist by closing it and maybe move it into either the armhole. So that is where I can add slash marks, or I can create a style line. So let me show you how to demonstrate this. We're going to trace off the front bodice. We're going to pivot the excess into an armhole dart. We're going to use it to create a slash line, and then we'll have multiple darts coming from the side seam area. So the first step will be that we're going to trace off our front bodice, and I'm going to continue using the point paper. For this, so we want to first establish our grain line. Hook up my center front bodice. So we're going to go from new to old. So I want to put the dart excess first into my armhole. I'm going to put it right there into the armhole notch for now. Trace off my neckline, my shoulder, the first dart leg, pencil in the pivot point, pivot my dart closed. Now I finish tracing from the armhole notch, side seam, and waist. Make sure I've got that bust point. This is where that new dart is. And I want to create a new style line where I've got darts radiating out to the French position. So what I'm going to do is, it's a design decision. Where do I want my darts to be? So you never want them too close to the bottom hem. Any part too close to the edge is going to create a point of stress. I want to be at least a minimum 2 inches away from that bottom hem. So I'm going to put my first one here at 2 inches up from the bottom hem. And then I want my next one, let's just say it's equal distant for now. I want it another 2 inches up from that. So I'm going to, I don't want to just draw a straight line to my apex, right? We're always got to back off from that apex, backing off 5/8 of an inch before I draw my style line. So I just move that parallel there, and now I'm going to connect this new slash line to my new backed off apex. And then this style line, I'm going to have completely parallel to that first one, to that slash line. So it looks kind of like this. Now we're going to close this dart and open up these so it creates darts along, multiple darts along the side seam. This is my center front. Trace this off, cut it out. shoulder, neckline, center front, okay. This is excess right in through here, right? So we need to close that out and get rid of it. And that's what we're going to be pivoting on. Don't cut into the true apex. We want to establish our grain line here on our craft paper. Now we're going to slash, backing off from that true apex, backing off from that slash line 1/8 of an inch so it doesn't fall apart. Hook the bodice center front to the grain line, secure. Now we can pivot this closed. So we're reclosing our armhole. No dart in the armhole, but we want multiple darts here on the sides from the French position. Or tucks, or pleats. So a dart is a tuck, is a pleat, is a gather. Just depends on how you deal with it. Then you would go in and true these out, same as we've done. So that is 502. This is multiple darts at the French position. Keeping with the multiple darts, the same concept applies from what we just did if we wanted multiple darts in the French seam to multiple darts in the waist seam. You would want to transfer your waist dart into another area. So here we can transfer into the French position and then spread it out. So if I were to trace this off, close my waist dart, and use it as a main dart in the French position, I'm going to highlight this here. So I've closed my waist in this example, and now I have a dart, a main dart in the French position. Remember, I need to back off my true apex, so we want to back off 5/8 of an inch before we create any style line. And then from here, I'm going to create my slash lines. So I'm going to use a different color. So you never want, so we have a slash line here that we can pivot from. But when we draw our dart, we remember we need to back off that dart. And then I just want to create some slash lines. If I want excess, gathering, or flare. So these are design lines. You can make them equidistant. And then we're going to slash on those lines. And just like we did in the previous one, we want to close our French dart out. And we want to straighten these out to the true apex. So we're going to close this area out. And then true our darts. So we'll have excess. You'll have, if you want tucks, you want to blend your side seam. So there'll be some blending that you need to do. But basically, once you've used the multiple style lines, it can be here at the waist, in this example, or in this example, here at the neck. So we can pivot the waist dart into a neck dart and create style lines here, multiple style lines on the neck.